Saturday Showdown. 하나생명 e스포츠 대 KT 롤스터.
Do is draft a whole bunch of knockups so we can get a Macbro Air. And maybe Macbro Air is actually the better one.
Oh my god.
You know?
That could be it.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, first, we're going to see a Poppy and a Camille band come on through here from both of our teams. First pick, over to the bros this time.
So, let's see what is going to make it through. This time, Poppy is not, even though it was ignored in our last draft. Camille ban means that, okay, well, we're going to see a Lucian ban into Diablo. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree.
I was kind of feeling like maybe Dive could be the play. You were talking about maybe wanting a Kai'Sa draft for Teddy. No Camille and no Vi. So they said no T1 draft with the Kai'Sa was played earlier today. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so how do they pivot? What do they do instead? All right, one final ban for the bros.
Lock.
Okay, so we are angling for an Orianna.
I
Is
think
what I'm starting to
Noxium-
figure out with the lock bans.
Maybe angling to ban Orianna.
Aha!
So does that leave us with the first pick Jace? Does it leave us the first pick? Okay, they're going to pick Orianna up.
All right, Brad going to be taken away. And Romariana.
Romer.
Rorianna. I imagine that's where Romer's going to go. Might instead do something completely different. What if they slammed Tarek?
They're going all the way down to the very end.
Yeah, it's Orianna.
It is going to be Orianna, but the enemy team will have Ryze and Pantheon.
I
That's a little bit
imagine
scary.
they were really considering the Tarek, though.
It definitely came across their mind, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine. Nocturne does need to be picked away, so it doesn't get to be Ryze Pantheon, but Nocturne Ryze might be okay.
I did forget that Nocturne was up, so they're going to take a different direction.
Gargoyle delivery. Kind of love this. And Nocturne did need to be denied, so just play it alongside the Galio.
They need to deny a Lulu pick here ASAP. It needs to be Yunara Lulu. I don't think there's anything else that they're allowed to pick here. Or it's going to be Lulu on 3. And you can ban away Yunara if you want, but it's still a Lulu draft. You got to go Yunara Lulu here.
Well, I actually kind of think that Nongshim have a pretty good Kai'Sa draft, which is kind of crazy, right? Like,
That's
you
true.
get the Nocturne to get in there, the Galio, like, sets up all the knockups, and then you can have a field day as the Kai'Sa. Like, everyone sort of having globals, can join fights. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know why I got Kai'Sa on the brain, but we also know that Diablo is very, very comfortable picking up that champ.
He's talking a lot. I don't think there's any world where they just pick Caitlyn here, right? I think they go a top lane pick 1,000%, and it is going to be the Olaf to come through. So now you protect your Yunara Lulu lane if you are Hanjin Brionne, and for Nongshim Red Force, try to target Gideon or protect Olaf. Those are the two options. I'd rather see protect Olaf. So maybe a Kled.
Yep, I think a Kled ban would make a lot of sense.
So Jax first, I suppose. It is actually easier to punish Kled when you have double globals with the Nocturne and the Galio, so maybe they'll let the Kled through this time around. I think any range champion is a good ban here, or any range support is a good ban here for Hanjin Brionne, but they are more scared of the Nautilus.
Yeah, I think Nautilus is also a decent option. Lehens loves to play it, and hard engage into the Yunara Lulu is often what we see teams go for, even if it isn't the best in the lane.
The other pick I thought about was Blitzcrank, but I don't think it really works with what Nongshim's comp is right now.
Oh, I kind of love it, though. Yeah, you're right. I feel like Blitzcrank is pulling the enemies to you when the rest of your team are running at the enemies.
Exactly.
And so then Blitzcrank's just hanging out by himself with someone.
I wonder what Cassie is going to play, because they leave open the Vayne, they leave open the Kled, and ban the Ambessa here. Casting seemed pretty surprised by that, as this will be the final ban here for Hanjin Brionne. Going to ban the Shen, so it's banning Engage here, and there's no Bard. The only real winning supports are like Karma, which you don't have the Ezreal for, or Seraphine, which I don't know if it necessarily makes sense in this draft. It could work with the Olaf and the Galio, actually. So if they want to play it.
Even an Ashe Seraphine would be kind of interesting.
What about
with the arrow?
Callista Renata also could be pretty good here.
Not to mention the Kai'Sa drops.
Kai'Sa's going to lose lane.
That's an eco.
Oh, you can't, like, Kai'Sa's going to get bopped by the Lulu lane, sadly. I know you wanted it, but you'll have to get it for Teddy in game 3. As the Fury will come through. The Fury Lulu also kind of like, it's basically the budget version of Nocturne Lulu.
Yep. See it all the time. The ulti into the wild growth has been pretty powerful. Not to mention you also have a shockwave. I actually think that Neferi is kind of an awesome enabler here in this composition.
Yeah.
The problem is the way this Nongshim draft kind of wants to function is I just don't feel like it's going to be punished that hard by something like that.
Yeah, it kind of counters that type of engage. You need to play slow if you're 100 Brionne and eventually let the Yunara get through those health bars.
That's a Draven.
Draven top would be very fun.
That would be very funny as well.
But I guess he's just going to play Vayne, which was one of the two options left between the Vayne and the Kled.
Draven.
Kingen is not impressed. He saw it coming a mile away. And it's going to be Corki, Nico. We've seen this 1,000 times, and
it works pretty good.
It's a pretty good response here. It's one of the range supports I didn't mention because I kind of forgot about Nico. It's popping back up a little bit. Peter's playing it a lot, which is a favorite of his.
There is no frontline on the Bros.
Yeah, the Bros have the front line of I pressed R on my Lulu onto a person, and they sort of
Lulu does turn anyone into kind of a frontline, I guess.
So if you engage with the Neferi, and she gets wild growth, she drops a shockwave into the enemy team, and then Yunara and Vayne clean up, it kind of works. I think this is a much better draft for Bro than their Game 1 draft. A much better draft for them than what Nongshim have put together. I don't think I can very confidently say, but I think it's a lot closer this time around.
Yeah, the last one was a bit of a disaster, let's be honest. I also have Dagon in chat saying, let's go Nongshim. 2-0 Nongshim, let's go.
I don't know why he's doing that. We're supposed to be a little bit unbiased
here. Do you think that
here.
the Bros are going to come and take his jersey away? Because I think that's probably the right thing to do.
I already notified them about what's going on.
Yeah, okay.
And because Dagon always leaves his jerseys on the floor in the space, they know just where to find them.
Now he's trying to make excuses, saying that like he's trying to throw Jisun under the bus. We know that Jisun is only professional here at the LCK. She would never do something like that. Wow. Throwing his boss under the bus, Wolf. That is crazy.
Not
Ladies and gentlemen,
success.
Let's get onto the Rift for game number 2. All right.
He also just wrote in the chat, W hat. What do you think he means by that?
I don't know what that means, Wolf. I'm really worried.
Think Nongshim are going to get a W and put it on the hat? That's super. He's being biased again.
At least Orcs is in the chat giving people the information that they need. And I think that that is really good. Thank you, Orcs. That is not Susture. That's just doing the right thing. A Sponge coming on over to try and do the right thing in the enemy jungle here. As Gideon, all he wants to do is kill some Raptors, and he's really having a rough time doing that. The Dark and Daggers do come on down, though. I just don't know whether you win a fight at level 1 into this Nocturne, who does get another Duskbringer.
Yeah, the passive is pretty strong for the Nocturne, so especially because he spins and the doggos don't like it. They also get involved, so he is just going to send the Neferi to the Wolf Camp, which is kind of like we're somewhat related to their family tree, I guess, in terms of how dark and dogs work.
Hey, Wolf.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Raptor Neferi skin? Where you don't, it's not actually a skin. It's literally just Neferi is the Raptor camp.
That's cool. I like that.
I kind of want it to happen. I feel like, you know, it's a relatively cheap skin to make.
Yeah, they already
have
the resources.
You just need to somehow, you don't even need to animate it. Maybe if it's just jank, right? And there's just like random things that come out, and then he goes like a little bit like the opacity, turn the opacity down when you press W.
That's cool.
And you just kind of like teleport a distance when you're doing the jump.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it so bad, man. It'd be so good. Scout's taking a lot of damage. Roma with the Clockwork Windup actually doing a fair bit of damage with these autos. Level 3.
That was an aggressive trade. Definitely said that. Kingan's looking for the all-in here, low health, and he likes it.
Yeah, Casting got lit on fire, but now Kingen has to flash. Does have, he's just dead.
They did not ban the Vayne, which was one of the champions that we recommended in the
Look at Casting, man. Casting was like rubbing his forehead. He's like, and then he has a big grin on his face.
I think it's
really
kind of like
how this one's going.
You know, when a lot of the time when something happens to, something's gonna happen to Sponge as well.
Wait, Gideon thought that he wanted to do this, and now he doesn't want to do this.
No, the doggos, man, that Nocturne passive every time. He got more doggos though.
The Umbra Blades. Roma's moving over. Scout is also here, but Scout is also nearly dead. Kingan's going to come on over, but I don't know whether he can offer that much. No summoners available for either top laner.
You know when something happens to you in a game where
Oh
there's
god,
limited vision?
don't look, don't look,
It's
don't
okay.
look at the...
It's okay.
This is
fine.
better.
Yeah.
This is better. I mean, these are Rise Group stats, but the Nongshim ones were especially not great.
Well, when you're playing a competitive game and your opponent does something that you don't expect, you often get scared because you're like, I don't think this is correct. I'm not sure if he should do that. Like, I don't think that's going to work, but he must know something I don't. I think that's kind of what happened to casting there when Kingan went for that all-in. He was like, oh my god, he's going to kill me. And he's like, wait a minute. Like, he has no health, and I'm Vayne.
yeah.
He was like, so relieved. I just
from far away.
shoot him and he dies. Okay.
All right, Roma, only level 4, no Shockwave, but Sponge still has to flash to get out of the way. The Dark and Dagger just barely without the range, but now Scout's the one in trouble. Dissonance comes down, Gideon avoids the Justice Punch. Kingan's dead again, and I don't really understand why, but there it is.
I mean, the wave was going to eventually push back. Kingan could have tried to lose some CS there. I mean, he's already down 10 farm.
Wolf, this is the power of early Brotax. This is why you pay it before the draft. Otherwise, game 1 happens.
I remember a very recent game where Rich did blind Gnar with Tristana available, and he died 4 times. We're on the way to a game like that. As he gets hit into the wall as well. He's operating on the brush, but there's a ward in it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is... I just don't know. So Kingan, like, he had to walk into melee range with the Olaf, but it didn't matter at all.
Yeah, the Vayne just pushes him away and does a ton of damage there. Then he just kind of has more damage throughput and
had a level advantage as well. I mean,
yeah.
The problem is that's the last time that Kingan's allowed to do that, because now he just loses every single time. And so this lane has become basically impossible. He at least does have the soldier build, where he has, you know, some clothes and a sword and some shoes. He's ready to go on an adventure.
I've never heard that term before, but I love that.
Yeah, if you have a Doran shield as well, like back in the day when you could build both, it was a lot of fun.
That's so good. Now you could have a helm.
All right.
As Teddy.
Lahan's going for the flash play, but Teddy just flashes in response. Now I'm going with the heal. Lahan's also throws his down. So Diablo now does have flash advantage.
I think we have ignored one very simple fact of this early game.
What's that?
Tempo vibes for bro.
Yeah.
It's all casting. The Olaf isn't working out. You know, they're in a good spot in this game. I mean, it's not even tempo vibes. They're just factually actually in a pretty heavy lead. But the fact that Kingan is now tried twice and failed, and looks like he might even be considering a 3rd time with the way the wave is looking there on the top side. The fact that Teddy survives down here, I'm getting some vibes. I feel like maybe some tax has been paid.
Yeah. That being said, the last couple of trades in the bottom lane were not looking phenomenal, as Roma is now also under fire. But Sponge decides not to pull the trigger. Doesn't quite have paranoia just yet, as Teddy just wants to go home and make that health bar not empty.
Casting has a phage, and he wants to put it to use, so Kingan's going to just prevent that and go get Honey Fruit. This is his top lane experience. You know, he's frozen, his wave is frozen, but at least he can heal up and try to go for 1 more minion.
Ooh, Scout, that Justice Punch buffer was gorgeous into the Shockwave.
And that's going to be the end of the aggression here, as Teddy is also getting, you know, some extra free farm here. There's only 1 minion wave behind. Quiet down, we're trying to cast the game.
Yeah, stop it, Lulu, what the heck?
Thank you,
I feel like she's louder than usual.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but Sponge is going to hit level 6 here off of the Scuttle Crab, which means he could maybe save Kingan. Let's see if he wants to make that choice or
go home.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go home.
Yeah, looks like the go home strategy this time around.
The first time I played a game of League of Legends with Chronicler, he said never gank a losing lane after he was topside, and I was like 0-1, and the wave was in a bad place, and I was like, can you help me? And he said never gank a losing lane. That stuck with me. I'll never forget that. I don't even remember what champion I was playing, but I was losing.
Yeah.
Not gank for me.
He's just mean, isn't he, really?
Yeah. So I guess Sponge is kind of just making a tactical choice in this case.
I see why you're talking about Chronicler doing a mean thing, because you know he's not watching a bro game.
No, I know.
Because he's a known bro anti.
Known bro anti.
It's still weird that you
like
would say
D-Gon.
that. Yeah. Wait a second. He's here!
I know.
You didn't get away with it. You thought you could get away with it. He is
Aw.
here. Sorry, Mao. Well, we're not really all that sorry. It is good advice.
He's probably like putting in the exact information. He's like, actually, you were 0-3.
Yeah.
So we have a grub fight now, and I mean, the rest of the team is rotating up. Gideon's going to have to use his escape.
Yeah, Scout actually just going to channel that taunt. Gideon is able to get out of the way of it, but it looks like it's just one grub over to the bros. Sponge will finish them off.
Smite. A little early, but it doesn't matter.
And Casting having a pretty good time here in this lane. Kingen, bit miserable.
It's really awkward for Hanjin Brionne to start fights if they don't have the the Fury in position with a Wild Growth. Otherwise, you're kind of like, maybe I shockwave the zone, but we don't necessarily have any follow-up yet in this game. So they decided to just walk away. They need a little bit more time for this Vayne to, even though she's really ahead right now, she's still not able to just hard carry a team fight. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow bro and brew, as it often is. In fact, that's kind of the thing that they do.
Yeah, this
what
is
they're known for.
It is relatively normal. However, I still think that their composition is really hard to play out. I do think that having a little bit more of an advantage as we get towards the mid-game is going to be important as Roma speeds himself up, but the Justice Punch does still come in. Lehens with a Pop Blossom in the air. Still, they get the flash out of Roma, and that is going to make it feel worth it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He doesn't flash there. He is 1,000% dead. I like how every time we watch the top lane with Casting is giving like so much respect to the Olaf. Looks like he's had some troubles in the past. He's like
working through some top lane trauma.
I think he's seen the wrong side of a few of those undertows.
Yeah, I mean,
think I can walk up on him, but I really just don't want to test the theory. I've been there before.
I feel like Vayne is always one of those champions where you can feel like everything's going well. Bro! That's
the experience. He's like, I'm backing, and he's like, hold on. I've undertowed that cannon. And he's like, anyways, I'm out of here. I'm losing this lane. He's like, Sponge, are you going to help me? And Sponge is just like, didn't you hear what Chronicler said?
Wow, why did you do this to the whole LCK, Chronicler? That's so rude.
Yeah.
Poor Kingen. Although Kingen's probably saying it as well. He's like, no, don't come back for me. I'm gone. Save yourselves. Does make some sense.
Sponge is okay.
Gideon's going to flash himself out of the way of this one. Dustbringer does not connect onto the doggos.
That was really scary for Gideon because Sponge could have just ulted on him there, but didn't have, and the Scout had ult to follow. It was a very, very tense moment, but he just is happy to take the flash and to get the dragon. As Bro are not going to get this objective. They do not have any bottom side control whatsoever. And it feels like we don't even have like junglers in this game. Like there's been no ganks really. It's just 2 solo kills for a Vayne, and
that's the whole game.
That's the whole game.
And the entire gold lead is Casting. Like I guess there's 300 for a bit of CS on Roma, but I mean that's basically nothing. Teddy and Namgung have lost a few plates here towards this bottom side of the map. Diablo is now a couple of waves in the lead. The Casting goes back, completes his first item, and Hexplate Vayne is a little bit better than Tiamat Olaf.
No support here, so Diablo's going to have to just Valkyrie away and let this wave push to him. So it looked for a moment like Teddy was going to try to make a play there with Namgung at the ready with his Wild Growth. Really quick response there from Diablo, just making sure that there's no opportunity there. Gideon was also somewhat nearby, but they don't get anything, and we're just going to go back to this slow game where Casting, it's top lane freeze the game.
Yeah.
And it's actually surprisingly not even that big of a CS advantage here, all things considered, for Casting.
Yeah, I know. It's just the 2 kills.
He's like just dropping minions to make sure he can keep the freeze.
And honestly, denying experience is also just such a huge deal. He's almost 2 levels ahead.
And
about to hit
now,
level 11. There it is.
Now Teddy's like, I have to bully the Olaf. I put an 80 carry on the top side for a reason. He doesn't know who's in here, by the way.
Yeah, it's Lehens that's moving on over. But Casting is able to tumble his way out of there. Diablo and Lehens are going to take up position, but now Namgung and Gideon are moving in. There's the Pop Blossom used defensively. It does pick up the doggo, but now the ulti comes in, and the Vayne continues to wreak havoc. They do lose their Lulu, though, and Diablo is doing so much damage. Gideon goes untargetable, but then he goes dead. And now Casting with a nice flash, but he's still going to be taken down. As Scout picks up the double. Diablo's underneath the turret here as Roma is now their target. They run out of minions under the turret, but it doesn't matter because Roma is not even there anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the end of the play. Very funky one there on the top side, but Casting does end up going down. And now there's no way to push this lead any further here for Teddy in the range matchup. So both of these bottom lane players, who are, one is an AD carry, one is a top player in this lane swap, will just return home. The first part of this fight is pretty messy, right? But look at how much damage is done here to Lehens. And when they turn around onto Diablo, the rest of the team is here, and Casting is just like, I'm not even going to try to get DPS. I'm just going to try to rush the turret. The flash timing is good. Roamer is just too slow. If Roamer is able to wrap around faster, or even like just join at the initial part of the fight when they pull the trigger there, I think that ends up being a pretty one fight for Bro, but instead it's just him trying to defend. Lens takes so much damage, but ultimately sets up the jungler to find more success there, and Casting just cannot actually fight it out.
And Lehens now going to take a lot of damage here from Teddy. Throws down the ultimate. Lehens should just be taken out here, but Diablo, he's the one now taking the damage, and Lehens will survive.
Pretty straightforward trade there. Lehens does end up getting out with his life, but that was a big moment for Teddy to potentially grab that first kill and put himself on the board a little bit here. Just having these little scrappy engages where both teams were happy to play the slow passive game for a little while, but now are just trying to find any mistake they can punish. And we are moving into a second dragon here pretty late in this game, as well as that Herald spawning in 30 seconds. A lot of tools on cooldown. Teddy doesn't have his flash.
And Namgung does finish the Ardent Sensor, so that is something. Bit of extra power for Teddy in the next fight if there is one. I'm very worried that Nongshim are just kind of getting this comp online.
Yeah, I think that Roa really fumbled the execution of the lead that they had, and Gideon just wasn't able to apply pressure anywhere this game. And now, yes, Yunara will scale, so will the Vayne, but if you lose Herald, you lose so much map control into this double global Nocturne Galio with a 2-item spiking Corki on the way.
And the durability advantage for Nongshim is
unreal.
Ludicrous.
Yeah, they actually have a real comp here.
Oh, Kingen might be getting dove here as the Ragnaroks does come out. Namgung coming down as Gideon just going to pounce on top of him. There's the Wild Growth, and they do kill the Viking. They run out of minions here, and Sponge is going to be able to take the Herald while Scout takes down the first turret. Nongshim pretty happy with the cross map.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a better trade for Nongshim, even though Bro will eventually get that turret and got that kill. This Herald is so much more valuable because it allows them to get the mid turret. And once the mid turret is gone, Sponge can kind of play around so many different angles that it's so difficult to defend. Oh, King in here, he has really very few options, right? He Ragnarok's early to try to put some damage down. Critically, Casting does not proc turret aggro. And then he is able to come and just burst him down here. Once the Ragnarok runs out, they even just drop the Wild Growth just to be safe. A lot of resources used, but they do secure the kill. But like I said, the cross map is just better. This turret's pretty healthy here in the mid lane, actually healthier than I thought, so they won't be able to just guarantee it with a Herald charge. But if they win a team fight around Dragon, for example, it just becomes so much simpler. A close game, but definitely Nongshim favored.
I would say so too, and I kind of like Nongshim's draft as we get later on into this game, despite the fact that there are a couple of hyper carries here on the Bros. Playing without a frontline is quite difficult when you have a composition relying on these auto attackers. Another Chemtech Soul as the Paranoia comes down. Teddy was left alone, is able to dash out of the way of that, and Kingen tanking this turret for a long time, but Sponge's damage is just not quite there, and he's going to die to this turret. So there's a kill going over to the Yunara. And Diablo going to get some plate gold here. The Rift Herald not going to be able to finish off this turret with a charge, but it is very close to going down.
I just don't understand why they didn't just do that in tandem with the Herald drop in the first place.
No, don't say weird things like that.
But, you know, it worked. They got Teddy.
We do not want logic in this game as Kingen's running around in circles, but they pick up Casting, put him down, and Lehens is going to help grab that kill. He's condemned just because Casting was mad at him.
Those teammates were like, can you play more aggressively on this Vayne pick? I gave you the counter pick and it all. He's like, this is why I don't do it. This is why I just froze the wave the whole game. The second you step up, they're going to come for you. And they did come for him there, and he does go down as this is a nice little taunt.
Yeah, kind of matters actually going to take a fair bit of damage from Scout.
So look, the Herald is being dropped, but then he's like, nah, I'm too impatient for that. And so he just sends it into Teddy, and Kingen takes the turret aggro for a really long time, but eventually he's like, guys.
Kingen almost died himself, man.
I know. They could have just waited for the Herald. Anyway, I don't want to get too into the weeds on it. You guys all watched it. Casting gets slowed here, and then Lehens shows up. And Casting doesn't have any way to buy space here. Pop Blossom hits just on the edge. Well played by Lehens as he gets booped back. They're going to get this turret on the bottom side of the map here. The mid turret only has one plate left. It's just like last game where suddenly Nongshim are just like, oops, no turrets, bro.
Yeah, the Mac Pro is not quite working out this time around. As Namgung taking some damage here. Teddy trying to defend an almost dead turret. As my god, the damage from Diablo is just kind of absurd.
Hit
the
that
two items
item.
have already been picked up. And he only needs 50 stacks to get that Muramana up. But this item is so early because he's been farming like a madman that he's still got a bunch of those stacks to pick up.
So Roamer, the target here after that taunt play, just gets burst down. The bottom turret is going to fall as well. And
Yeah,
Bane
casting just
run from
trying
Olaf.
to leave.
Yeah.
Scout teleported towards the top side to try and take down the Vayne. Not going to quite be able to do so. Essence are even not quite done here for casting either.
Teddy just needs time. Okay, we get to the 30-minute game. He's going to have the magic, right? Trust me. He might even come online earlier than that if Nongshim make a mistake. You know, bro fans, do not despair.
Yeah.
Don't let Digon tell you it's Brover.
It ain't Brover while I'm breathing or something like that.
Yes, exactly. That's the exact quote.
Yeah. That's the bro song, as we remember from that Worlds all that.
It's really cool that Bro let Riot borrow it for a minute there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
For the World Championship. They changed the lyrics a little bit to make it more original, but...
I feel like honoring the bros at the World Championship was the really nice thing, because I think they definitely deserve it for all they do for our sport.
I'm just looking at the map right now, and I'm like, Nongshim are winning everywhere, and Bro are actually just not even responding, as finally they will leave the base and start to come over here and take out this turret. But yeah, this game is starting to very quickly become very unplayable. And it started off so well for casting. I didn't play through him at all, and
you don't really get to, right? Like, it's a Vayne, you really want to keep her on an island in a side lane, just in general. But they were not able to really leverage anything elsewhere on the map either. There are at least 2 items now completed for Teddy as well. Fiend Hunter bolts have been put together, and there's a dash cannon for Roma.
It's a Chemtech Soul, so maybe they just get 1 dragon, Nongshim let it go. You know, they buy some time, just keep scaling up. There's not a whole lot of turrets left on the map for them to play through here, but as you can see, Teddy still has this mid-inner. You can kind of clear some waves through.
Yeah.
He needs about 100 more CS and 1 more item. And then, in the proper circumstances, with the right setup, with the Fury Wild Growth combo, the Shockwave on it, he can pop off and carry this game. I'm laying out the hypotheticals here.
Yeah, I got it. I think what Corky just said about that is, that's a long shot, Wolf.
Yeah, something. I think it was approximately it.
Not much of a Corky voice, and nor was it a very good accent, but I hope you guys understood what I was going for there.
Well, he's got like the comms voice thing. It's really hard to do that. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
right.
not a computer.
I was like trying to do my voice modulators at home, unfortunately. As now Gideon going to get scried, and will probably just lose his blue buff. Will the bros fight for it, though?
Diablo's farming the doggos.
He just got mega coned. Okay, now a paranoia does come in. A possible delivery as the taunt does nothing at all. The heads with the Black Bones 4! Absolutely insane as they're crushed under the weight of this gargoyle. And Kingin is just running at them celebratorily. And he's able to take down the bottom lane as a result. Roma just left to send a message to his comrades to never do that again.
A pretty tragic series here for Hanjin Brion, if we're being brutally honest. Just not anything in it, as Nongshim just walk all over them. And I feel like if we get Lehens' first-person view at the very end, he's going to tell everyone he's their young again. It's me.
Yeah.
Let's see it. I already predicted it.
Oh my goodness, the satisfaction.
Does he say it? Does he say it?
Oh, we
he's
cut the
being
line.
too respectful.
Or maybe he said something mean, so we had to cut the video.
All right, so watch it one more time here. They're all just grouped up. Look at Diablo. He's flashing in on this play because he wants to maximize the damage. Teddy with Wild Growth on him thinks he's going to get out. There's just so many members running him down. That was a back-breaking play right there from Lehens and all of Nongshim who come in there with him.
And the Bros are now on the Dragon.
Just 1 dragon, that's all they need, right? To buy time, right? To buy time. Yo,
I
they got
guess so.
it.
They do manage to get it. Now it's going dark once more. The taunt is going to connect. My God, these health bars are just disintegrating. Lehens only finds 1 this time, though, as Gideon's trying to get out of there. Casting's running really quickly as he flashes to get the condemn onto Diablo and then just goes down. It's a triple for Scout. And this guy is tanky and does the damage, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing the bros can do.
King is going to end the game.
Oh, God.
Took turret aggro for a second by accident, but he's ready to do it. Scout is just going to TP over, and the troubled solo laners are the ones to lead the charge on the final push.
Who is more troubled, the bro players or the bro fans, as you saw in that picture-in-picture?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can't end, actually.
I mean, it is, only 24 minutes into the game. But still,
right.
let's have a look at this one more time. This was optimistic at best from the
Yeah,
bros.
and how do bro keep walking into, like, every circle engage? It's just a walk-in taunt from Scout into Pop Blossom. I really appreciate the attempt here from casting to look for the flash onto Diablo to push him into the wall there. Just not enough damage to kill him. Namgu can't really affect this play at all. The rest of his team is already dead. We see the double TP. I thought to end, but actually with no big wave just to get the inhibitor. And now they're sieging up this top turret. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll break the fourth wall. The person who collects the palm vote came up here.
Yeah, I was like, she's a little bit early, isn't she?
I mean, I think we all thought the game was bad.
Gideon's going in. They do kill the hens. But as we all know, that only makes him stronger. 8,000 gold the lead.
Diablo did flash on that Lehen's play in the mid lane, so doesn't have his flash up for a few more seconds here. So he's fairly vulnerable, but they don't have any engage.
They're still going in. The Gargoyle is going to crash down on top. Doesn't get too many knockups as the Wild Growth does come in. But now, Scout just finds all of them. The Phosphorus Bomb to get rid of the doggo. As Casting is still able to dance around this fight. Kingen will go down. But they do manage to take Casting with them. Scout is just immortal in this game, but he gets circled before Teddy gets rocketed to death. It's a dribble here for Diablo. They don't have much of a health bar, but it looks like Nongshim are still going to push for these Nexus turrets.
GG is what I would say if it was a close and good game, Atlas, but instead, I think we could just say it was a stomp. Nongshim win 2-0. There was nothing in it for the bros tonight.
Do we just say G? Well, G to Nongshim. And honestly, they are back on the horse after that tragic loss to DNS earlier in the week, and they escape.
Only you had. This series, I think we're a little bit more mixed. I actually wasn't even a pro leaver.
What? So you got the wrong one.
I thought I voted for bro.
And I actually thought that I was wrong, and that's absolutely fine, because who knows? Let's have a look at some of these numbers.
Top of damage on Nongshim is Scout, in fact.
Yeah. The winds of war were certainly raging in this game. But Diablo, I think, did just very quietly farm up to become an absolute monster here in this game. The Corki by the late game was just doing so much damage, and he had that 2-item spike when he needed it. It's as you say, Scout will be able to pick up the player of the match here. His Cassiopeia was pretty fantastic, and his Galio, unbelievable in that final game. Still think Lehen's a little bit robbed.
He performed very well against the counterpick syndrome, and then Galio took